Hello everyone, welcome to a World of Warship Blitz video. The British battleships are not here, but they're on their way, because before the British battleships we have Pan-Asian cruisers. And what you're seeing at the moment is the Tier 6 Pan-Asian cruiser. So what appears to have happened is there is a starting event which looks like it provides some another victory blitz with the Tier 6 Fushun, which is the cruiser currently that I have selected, and we'll have a look at that. I'm just scrolling through to have a look at the victory blitz. See, there's no other ships hidden in here. There's gold hidden in here. There's Pan-Asian commanders hidden in here. And those are suddenly going to become at a premium, because with 3 Pan-Asian ships that I've currently got on my main account and 2 Pan-Asian commanders, I'm doing okay. But anyway, so what I have here is the Tier 6 destroyers, and I'm going to compare, look at the stats of the Fushun, and compare it with the its compatriots at Tier 6, or the mainline compatriots. So the Anshan and the T61 and the Ogle and the Gallant being the premiums. I'm not going to put them in part of the comparison, because I basically compare mainline ships with mainline ships. So the Fushun, much like the Anshan, is a Gnevny class, so if it plays like the Anshan, it should be a ton of fun. The Anshan is probably one of my favourite ships, and probably one of my top scoring ships on my main account as well, in terms of win rate after a shocking start. Anyway, after the basic details, let's go have a look at some stats. So survivability, 13,915 hit points. So let's go and compare that with some of its. So probably the gold standard, I would say, would either be the Ernst-Gator or the Farragut. So the Ernst-Gator definitely weighs in with a higher hit point pool. The Farragut weighs in roughly the same. What I'll do is I might filter out the British destroyers, because they don't, and the French destroyers, because they don't add any value. Yeah, so it's got slightly more hit points than the Farragut, obviously more than the Fubuki, so, and well, more than the Gnevny. So okay, then the Ernst-Gator is the heavy hitter, so it compares pretty favourably. And if we look at the protection, which on the Gnevny is 5, 10, 4.5 and 3, 5, 10, 4.5 and 3, there's no surprise there. Not quite as tanky perhaps. Well, actually that looks pretty standard, 5, 10, 4.5 and 3 as far as citadel protection, fire and flooding resistance, damage reduction and torpedo reduction. So just basically it has a good hit point pool. Not as good as the Ernst-Gator, but better than anything else. So from a survivability perspective, we're off to a good start. Maneuverability, maximum speed of 37.23 knots. So let me just check what I selected as the, I selected, much like the Anshan, I've got the transverse speed and the transverse acceleration selected as the elite skill. Let's go have a look at the Gnevny. So we'll just pull it back up to stats. 37.23 and a turn time of 3.15. Less than 10 seconds to full speed and 9 degrees per second turn. With the Gnevny, we are at about slightly higher speed, 37.79, slightly slower turn time, slightly faster full speed, but we're talking tenths of a second there. And the traverse speed is 9.45 degrees per second, slightly faster than the traverse speed of the Fushun. So basically anybody who's a Gnevny pilot should be pretty much at home. It's faster than Ernst-Gator, accelerates faster, it is faster than the Fubuki, doesn't quite accelerate as fast as the Fubuki, but then again the Fubuki is really a torque boat, and it is faster, just slightly than the Farragut, not quite good as quick as acceleration, bit quicker turn, but slower turn time. guns. Okay, so this does have deep water torpedo, so when you're facing destroyers, these guns become important. The other thing to realise when you're facing destroyers, although I never really try and use my torpedoes as an anti-destroyer weapon, they're an incredible threat to have. With deep water torpedoes, you don't have that threat. So just be aware, it's as if you don't have torpedoes against other destroyers. So the guns had better be good, or you'll be spending your time on the fringes of the map looking for helpless battleships. Right, okay, so main guns, 130mm, that looks like Gnevny main guns to me, 5-second reload, 8km range, 403 main battery damage, 437 main AP damage, and 4% chance of setting fire. Let's go have a look at the Gnevny, shall we? That looks pretty familiar. Gnevny has slightly longer range, slightly larger damage totals, 15 degrees per second turn as opposed to 12. So Gnevny has slightly faster turret rotation, slightly longer range. So the Gnevny is a little bit up on the guns from the Fushun, but only by a little bit, probably about 23 points and about, 7 or 9 points for the HE and 23 additional points of AP damage. Obviously, these will come in seconds to Ernst Gator, which has cruiser guns. Yeah, I mean, that's the only comparison that needs to be made there. But let's have a look at the Farragut. So we're looking at 5 degrees, 8km range, and 403 HE damage. And we get 5-second reload, 7.7km range, and 3.8 HE damage. So it does have the advantage over the Farragut. The Farragut has the much faster turret traverse speed. So with the Fushun, its turret traverse speed seems to be its weakness. Let's go check it with a slow turret traverse speed ship, 10 degrees per second, which is the Fubuki, which is easily able to outturn its turrets. So yeah, the Fushun turret traverse is going to be the challenge. Right, now the main event for a destroyer, unless of course it's a Russian destroyer, in which case it's the secondary event, but it's the main event because these are deep water torpedoes. Let's go have a look at some stats. So reload time 43 seconds, which is good. They're not sort of the Fubuki reload times, which are much higher than that. But so that's a reasonable turnaround on the torpedoes. 3,800 damage, 7.8km range, and 66 knots with a 20-degree chance of flooding. So if we have a look at that reload time, 43 seconds, so that 3.8 damage and that 7.8km range and the 66 knots of speed, if we compare that with the premium torpedo boat on this tier, which is the Fubuki, okay, so it doesn't quite do as much damage, it doesn't quite have the same range, and it goes the same speed. So those are pretty good torpedoes. If we compare those torpedoes with the Ernst Gator, which has actually quite good torpedoes, to be honest, much better damage, slightly better range, and a bit faster in the Fushun. So it is a torpedo boat. Just don't expect to be using those against other destroyers. Let's do a comparison for the Farragut for those of you that are American destroyer users. So, yep, 3.8 versus 3.2, so definitely more damage. 7km range versus 6 kilometers, so definitely more range, and 66 knots versus 58 knots. So, Fushun is definitely get out your torpedo aiming. Right, AA. Yeah, I think we've said everything we need to say about the AA just looking at that. Let's do AA and surface detection together. So we'll do a sort of a good news, bad news situation. So the AA is 1.5km range and 69 damage. So basically you'll get nice shooting sounds when a plane goes close by. Right, surface detection of 5.88. Now my Anshan gets down to, well, this is the same as one on my main account. No, it doesn't. 5.88, My Anshan at 5.82, I get to 5.04 with historical camo, with concealment, and with the high grade coal. So this Fushun should get a pretty good surface detection, but its base detection is 5.88, which is pretty good. The Gnevny is 5.82. This is Gnevny's pretty good. So it's up there. Not quite as good as the Ernst Skater. I really should get the historical camo for that Ernst Skater, shouldn't I? Right. So the surface detection, oh hello, definitely better than the Fubuki, and basically the same base surface detection as the Farragut. Let's go kit this sucker out. Let's go full hog. Let's have a look at the historical camos before we go any further. So the historical camo that you can get with this is main battery firing range 4%, which is good because those guns aren't bad. Torpedo range 4%, torpedo traverse speed plus 4%, and surface detection minus 4%, which for this boat is going to be nice. Besides which, the camo actually looks not too bad. The armory, let's go have a look at what its elite bonuses are. Exactly the same as the Anshan. You've got traverse speed and traverse acceleration, or main battery HE damage and main battery chance of setting fire. I've taken the traverse speed, and you'll see why shortly. It does come, before we go any further, it does come with some missions which can earn you some silver, or some silver, or some silver, or some silver. Right, okay then. So it's you can grind your way to get a bit of cash. Right, let's go kit this sucker out. Supplies. I'll do my typical loadout for a destroyer. Not that. Unload that. Load that. Where is it? Refined diesel. I have no idea why you have high-grade ore and refined diesel on the same boat. It really doesn't make sense to me. If you've got fuel, you've got fuel. Anyway, my hybrid destroyer, as it turns out, has got its supplies. Let's go with some equipment. Okay then. From what I've seen, this is essential. From my experience, this is really useful. And let's fill in that gap. So that was pretty easy. So my standard destroyer loadout is that. So I'm going with my standard. Let's pick a commander. I have one commander. Let's just see what his skills, what skills I've given him are. Not a lot. What we could do is, let's just go back and see what special skills it gets. It gets engine accelerator and smoke generator. So it really is an Unshown with deep water torpedoes, guys. That's it. It gets smoke, but right, let's assign it. Let's assign this commander. Right, let's give him some commander skills. What are we going to level him up as? So let's just level him up a bit so that we can simulate we get to after a reasonable bit of playing. Probably about tier 5 or 6. Level 5 or 6. So we have engine accelerator. So what I would probably be doing is taking... So I definitely take emergency response. I definitely take torpedo alert. Definitely take preheating to help capture caps. There's no point in taking anything else here apart from victorious charge. If you're looking to move them on through other ships, let's see what the entire line looks like. Let's just run with that lot. Okay, so now in order to not make a complete fool of myself, I will go with playing versus the AI, or it's the Unshown. What could go wrong, guys? What could go wrong? Here we go. Right, 9 seconds in. Good old Asian server. That's me, the Fushun. We've got a Kamikaze, we've got a Gnevny, a Molotov, a couple of Molotovs, a Congo. So a lot of battleships, this is a good lineup for this destroyer. Let's see what its long-range torpedo spread looks like, because if it's quite wide like the Idol, it could be a bit of a challenge. Right, my first job is to go capture the cap. So at least I'll get the first thing done right. Okay. Sorry that you can't hear any battle sounds, but I can assure you that I can. That is actually a fairly good spread there. We're up to full speed, 39 knots. Okay, right, so we're going to be taking the target area, capture, just remind people what the job is. If there's only one capture zone, capture the target area. If you want to muck around with flanking maneuvers and clever little tricks, deal with it later. Get the target area, guys. I'm in the target area and I'm not capturing it, and that's because I've got this problem called enemy ships. Oh man, our ships are really struggling. That's a Molotov. I reckon he's probably worth a bit of a go. Do I really want to be going in reverse? That's another Molotov. Oh, this is fantastic. Okay. Right. Guys, I'm going to have to say that I'm a bit disappointed that you're not in the target area. Now, I could start using my guns at this point, but I have this lovely Congo. Look at my detection circle. It's absolutely lovely. I have a Julio Cesare, and I'm going to take on that sucker. What's he doing? He's going to reverse his way. Let's just, you know what? Let's just fire some of these torpedoes off. Okay, we'll come around the outside of this island, let our guns retrain in. Oh, don't go outside the cap circle. Don't go outside the cap circle. Yeah. Klutz. Oh, that would have hurt. Oh, that. What was that? Oh, I went outside the cap circle. Okay, then this Congo. Okay, are we detected? No, we're not detected. Oh, we're detected, all right. That's what I want to see. Come on, Mr. Congo. Right. It's going to hurt you more than it hurts me. You know what the parents say? Okay. These torpedoes are very effective. For those battleship drivers out there, oh, that's going to hurt. Oh, no, it's not. Go watch Yeah Boy and how to dodge torpedoes, because, guys, you're going to need it. Right. Oh, here we go. What's this? Oh, we'll just gun this thing down. Oh, no. Come on. And once again, I crawl outside the cap circle, but I'm back in. Right, that Gnevny is my nemesis because it has incredibly good guns. So what's this? It's like a New Mexico. There you go, New Mexico. You give yourself something to work with. That'll keep you busy while I keep myself entertained over here. Hello, look at this Molotov. Oh yeah, okay then. When's my that New Mexico made it out of range. Okay, then I better not get too close. I'm well and truly outturning my guns here, guys. Ouch. I'm about to get my smoke and my torpedoes. Okay, right. That New Mexico had better be slowing down. Oh, he's a smart little sucker. He is slowing down, but maybe not quite enough. 3 hits on him, that's not bad. Oh, let's deal with some of that stuff. Oh, he didn't like me. Okay then. Right. Okay then. Well, it wasn't too successful there. We just really didn't stay in the cap long enough. But yep, 42,000 damage. Capture the target area. The irony. Seriously, now you want to capture the target area. Okay, go capture the target area. Let's have a look around. What's this guy doing? Oh dear. I love the Congo's mobility as much as the next guy, but dear. Oh, that Omaha did a good job on that Gnevny, but still, if we're lucky and we get a couple of ships out of it, we could... Oh, that's going to hurt. Oh, too close range. No. Not quite enough to save the day. Okay, my impression of the ship is... Okay, the guns, you can easily outturn the guns. So, you're going to have a problem in a knife fight with another destroyer. The torpedoes are definitely... yeah, definitely fantastic. So not quite as long range as the Fubuki. So, but the guns are more capable, if that makes sense. So the Fubuki, when you have to use the guns, it really feels like sort of you've reached rock bottom. Using the guns in this doesn't feel quite like rock bottom, but it, yeah, you can easily outturn them. So. Yeah, don't get into a knife fight with the Leander in this, will you? Right, or actually you've got those torpedoes. Yeah, so, yeah, and those 10 torpedo hits, if I'd been a bit better with some of those targetings, I probably would have done a little bit better, but still, that's the Fushun. A worthy addition to the game, and something that will scare... warship captains and give us cruiser captains something something new to a new threat or target. Anyway, I hope you found that educational. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Wrong button.